Live, News 8's Good Morning Connecticut starts now.
Stakes in this election have never been higher. And the rhetoric we're hearing on the other side has never been lower.
I am a unifier. Once we get all of this finished, I'm going to go after one person. That's Hillary Clinton.
The front runners on both sides of the presidential race picking up big wins on Super Tuesday, distancing themselves from their competitors.
In Vote 2016, a state-by-state breakdown of the winners and what's ahead in the race for the White House.
It was quite a night politically. It is quite a day outside weather-wise. It is coming down in buckets in a lot of places around Connecticut. If you're just getting going on this Wednesday, it is 6 a.m. I'm Keith Kuntz. Welcome to Good Morning Connecticut. Thanks for spending part of your morning with us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Laura Hutchinson. You are going to want to grab that umbrella before you head out the door this morning. When we got out of the car this morning, the sky just opened up. I was running in here.
Really something. Let's get it right over to Chief Meteorologist Gil Simmons. Gil.
It is a tough start. Good morning, everyone. At least it's hump day. We're getting through the week, day number 2 of March, and we have some spring rain that's out there waiting for you. Much of the state's soggy right now, but there is an area of heavier rain coming in out of New York State. Some of that already sneaking up over the 95 corridor, and I just want to highlight that area and show you bottom left-hand corner. That's going to make for some really tough driving around Bridgeport all the way down to the New York State line. Now that same area is moving east-northeast, so that's going to come into New Haven, and the rain that's already heavy in New Haven will get heavier over the next 15 to 20 minutes, and we will be dealing with this for at least the next 2 hours for most of the state. I think between 7 and 9:30, that's when it completely shifts and moves out. By 9:30, it will be dry across the state, but it's raining now in downtown New Haven. I'm going to take you outside coming up and show you how heavy that rain is. Mild air in place. We have some 50s in Scotland. We're almost at 50 in Stamford, Milford 47, North Branford 48. But by the afternoon, temperatures fall fast. By noon, we're down to 41 and 39. And before we get out to Tom Michaels, I just want to show you the wind chill coming up as we go through the morning and afternoon, dropping through the 30s to the 20s to the teens. Going to break all that down for you and show you how cold it gets coming up. Let's get out there to Tom Michaels, though. Tom, that heavy rain area coming up from Bridgeport right into New Haven.
Yeah, Gil, I saw that Long Wharf shot as we went to break, and the New Haven streets starting to pond up a little bit, so do be careful out there as we head around the state. The one problem we're following now is in Bridgeport, and we also have a local street closure in Danbury. That's Stevens Street. That's for an overnight fire investigation. Let's take you out to Long Wharf. This is by exit 46 heading into the construction zone. You're doing okay, but again, keep your speeds down here in New Haven. 91 looks good. Down to Bridgeport, we had an earlier accident, a couple cars pulling over, reports of some debris on the road. So this is northbound by the Webster Bank Arena. And let's take you out to East Hartford, the scene of that earlier accident around 5 o'clock this morning. All is better in the capital city. Check the traffic cams, WTNH.com. Lauren, Keith, back to you.
All right, thank you. In Vote 2016, a sigh of relief this morning for several of the presidential candidates following Super Tuesday.
Democratic contender Hillary Clinton and GOP rival Donald Trump, the big winners. They are both one step closer to their respective parties' nomination.
Here's ABC's Lana Zach.
Thank you all so much. What a Super Tuesday!
With these Super Tuesday results, it looks increasingly likely that the November election will be a matchup of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
I'm going to go after one person. That's Hillary Clinton.
Clinton marching forward on a clear path to her party's nomination, keeping one eye on her Democratic competitor, Bernie Sanders, who won Vermont, Oklahoma, and Minnesota. But with a commanding lead in the delegate count, Clinton already taking on Trump.
America never stopped being great.
On the Republican side, Ted Cruz won his home state of Texas and Oklahoma.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Marco Rubio won his first state, Minnesota, ensuring the race for the GOP nomination will stretch on. But the night belonged to Trump, who was a bit more gracious to his competitors than in recent days.
I want to congratulate Ted on the winning of Texas. He worked hard on it. I know it was a very tough night for Marco Rubio. He had a tough night, but he worked hard.
Cruz, feeling victorious with his Texas win, urged voters to think of this now as a two-man race.
If the race remains divided, Donald's path to the nomination is much more likely.
None of the remaining Republican candidates have given any indication that they are considering dropping out, which could potentially lead to a brokered convention. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
And now to recap the winners this morning in each of the states in the big Super Tuesday races in this presidential election. Donald Trump picked up 7 states, winning in Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Vermont, and Virginia. Senator Ted Cruz won 3 states, Alaska, Oklahoma, and his home state of Texas. And Senator Marco Rubio won his first state, Minnesota. Keith.
Laura, now recap of the Democratic results on Super Tuesday. Hillary Clinton won 7 states: Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Senator Bernie Sanders racked up 4 victories: Colorado, Minnesota, Oklahoma, and his home state of Vermont.
And now that the biggest day so far in the presidential election has passed, the presidential candidates are looking ahead to this Saturday. Republican or Democratic primaries and caucuses will be held in 5 states across the country. Both parties will hold caucuses in Kansas and primaries in Louisiana. Republicans will hold caucuses in Kentucky and in Maine. Democrats will hold their caucuses as well in Nebraska.
And Good Morning America will continue coverage of Super Tuesday and the race for the White House, coming up right here on News 8 at 7 o'clock. It is coming down outside, and Gil Simmons is right in the middle of it. How you doing, my friend?
I'm not sure if you can even hear me. You can hear that rain, though, on the microphone, which is actually on the umbrella through the microphone because it is coming down that heavy. It will be like this in downtown New Haven for about the next hour to hour and a half. More heavy rain off to the west, and I want to get you right to our radar so we can show you what's going on. The rain that you see over there on the left side with our storm track radar, the orange and yellow, that is the heavy stuff. That's going to make it tough along Route 7 between now and about 6:30. And then all of that comes to the east. And I don't know if you see me on the right side of your screen, but the wind is picking up too. There's the heavy rain, Woodmont up to Hamden, across through Woodbridge, Shelton, the Valley, Derby, Ansonia, even Naugatuck and Beacon Falls. Let's swing the radar up a little more, and we'll show you how there's another area coming out of Litchfield, Watertown, Middlebury. It's pouring now. That's going to shift over into Meriden and even Southington in about 20 minutes. Hey, Old Saybrook getting into it, Clinton, Westbrook, but it'll get a lot heavier about an hour and a half out from where we are now. Still dry over there in eastern Connecticut and Mystic for the time being, but the rain's heading your way. All right, 40s and 50s at the bus stop with the heavy-duty wind and rain, but it dries out during the day. We'll talk about that big temperature drop coming up with the full forecast. Make sure you have rain gear that will keep you dry from the rain going sideways. All right, Tom Michaels, any updated accidents to report?
Well, we're fairly quiet right now, Gil. I didn't even have to look up at the screen. I could hear that rain hitting your umbrella. And Wilbur-Cross Merritt combination, seeing some slowdowns on our speed data. No accidents. It's just people taking it slow with some ponding on the roads. Let's show you both sides of New Haven. This is in Branford, out by the Branford Rest Lake Saltonstall Bridge. You're moving well into New Haven. Let's take you into New Haven, just south of where Gil is. This is by Long Wharf into the construction zone. Again, you may find some extra ponding in that construction zone, but no problems. And the Brass City, not too bad through the construction zone. A good ride out to 691 in Cheshire. Check the traffic cams anytime for yourself at WTNH.com. Lauren, Keith, back to you.
Tom, thank you. It is just about 6:09 on a Wednesday morning, and we are talking road construction on I-95. Coming up, an update on the project by Exit 44 and when you can expect it to be all wrapped up.
All right. Plus, self-driving cars. How do you feel about it? What a new survey finds about how drivers feel about being on the road next to a car with no one behind the wheel. That's ahead.
And technology of the future, with some students at the University of New Haven are learning about robots. We've got those stories, a lot more, coming your way next.